All right, everybody, what is going on? We're going to be taking a look here at some concepts that I made for Golden Week. Golden Week is, I believe, this week, right? The celebration starts at the end of this week. So, we already got our first teaser. We already know it's going to be Majin Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We got some small leaks, and then we kind of got confirmation last night whenever Dokkan posted their teaser of, like, the blue arrow going through, like, the Majin Buu belly. You guys know what I'm talking about at this point. If you don't, be sure you follow the Dokkan official, social media pages where they posted those things, and you can go ahead and see that stuff, and you can know what I'm talking about. But anyway, the point being for this video is that I actually drew up some concepts here for Goku and Majin Buu, and I wanted to talk about them in a video and kind of get this on camera and talk about my concepts here and just go over these. So I put some thought into these, a little bit of thought. Some things probably don't make sense. I was looking over it, and I was like, oh, like, you could tell that maybe I made one piece first, and then I made another piece in between, and then, like, I forgot about, like, another piece that I made, and so, like, there's kind of some conflicting things that don't really make sense, but you'll see, once we kind of get into it, we'll talk about those things. So, first up, we have Goku. I figure Goku's the more hype of the two, so we have him up first. So, here's what I got going on. Super Saiyan 3 Goku Angel. There's the, like, iconic picture, right? Leader skill, his main leader skill right here is going to be Otherworld Warriors, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, and Majin Buu Saga as our 3 key 170%. That's not, like, the best leader skill ever, which is why I gave it 3, and then, Power Beyond Super Saiyan is obviously pretty decent at this point, and then Majin Buu Saga, we've gotten a couple buffs to it, and then, once we get this Goku, this Buu, we got Gotenks, Super Vegito, Gotenks, I feel like this is going to be a pretty decent team. He gives the extra 30% to Pure Saiyans, Super Saiyan 3, or Kamehameha. So that's going to help include maybe like your Super Saiyan 2 Gohans, Gotenks, Vegito, like the Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Vegito. So that's also going to include Tech Gogeta, which I think is going to be nice. So this, I think, is going to end up being a pretty decent leader skill. You can see the stat spread, 19,000 HP, 13,000 attack, and then 13,000 defense. To me, the attack stat is like the least important thing ever in the game, and so that's why I just gave him a really low attack stat. That way I could give him like really high HP and really high defense, because I think those are the two stats that really matter. And once you kind of see what I've got going on with this kit, I don't think these stats are really going to be a big issue. So let me know what you guys think about this leader skill choice. I think overall, like, this doesn't sound super good, but if you take a step back, it's actually pretty decent. So let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, obviously, let me know what you guys think about everything. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter and leave me replies here. I don't have Twitter Blue currently. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about purchasing it, but I haven't quite fully committed to it yet. But yeah, you can follow me here and you can see this stuff early. So I'm probably like the worst Twitter follow ever. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Next up, we do have the super attack effects. This is going to be the Super Kamehameha. I just pulled that straight from the Int Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I think that's the same name. So, obviously, he's going to be in the Kamehameha category. I didn't really go into categories and links too much in this concept. I wanted to just kind of get the based kit out there, and then you guys can kind of piece together the categories from that point. That's not super important to me. So he greatly raises attack and raises defense for 4 turns. So this is going to be, both of these are for 4 turns. I don't know if that's the correct wording or not, but I'm treating this as if this is these are both for 4 turns. So that means that you'll be able to keep like a 1-turn running stack up for this character. For both attack and defense. It's going to be a 50% attack raise and a 30% defense raise. I did break it down here for anybody unfamiliar with like the multipliers. So it's going to be a 50% attack raise for 4 turns, 30% defense raise for 4 turns. I gave him a high chance to stun, and then I also gave him raises all allies crit chance by 33% for 3 turns, because I figured why not? Because why not? He's Super Saiyan 3 Goku. How about he gives everybody a 33% chance to crit? That sounded pretty cool to me, so I just gave it to him. And that's what we're rocking with here. So let me know your thoughts on this. This is probably a really busted super attack effect, but Actually, this is probably more busted than I intended it for it to be, because I also just realized I gave him built-in additionals. So if this guy triple supers, everybody on the team gets a 100% chance to crit basically for 3 turns. Maybe that's a bit too busted, but you know what? Who cares? You know what? It's my concept. It's my concept. We do what we want, okay? I maybe I should have made this 10%, but or I probably should have made this 11. If I made this 11%, it probably would have been more, probably more on par with what I was expecting. Because here's his passive skill. So passive skill, I just called it even further beyond. I don't know, like the names here, I just kind of make names that sound like on theme. So activates entrance animation upon entry, and for 3 turns from the start of turn, you get 133% attack and defense, and you guard for 3 turns. So you know, that's just like some extra starter turn stats, and you do get guaranteed guard for 3 turns. I think that's nice. It can help you kind of settle into your rotations. And it kind of is also on par with this Goku, right? Like, he was under a time limit. That's kind of like his whole, like, gimmick. Is like, oh, Goku's only here for a few more minutes, few more hours, however long, right? And so, you know, you only get these buffs for 3 turns. That's what I was trying to kind of, like, emulate there. And then at the start of turn, he gets 200% attack and defense, and he launches an additional super attack that's just guaranteed. So, you know, previously I was talking about that 33% crit chance. So yeah, you know, you launch that guaranteed additional, you're giving everybody 66% crit chance for 3 turns. Maybe that's a bit too overpowered, but you know what? Who cares? You know, just give everybody crit. You know, everybody on your entire team's just critting. That sounds pretty cool to me. And then attack and defense plus 133% on super attack. From turn 4 onwards, this is after your entrance animation wears out, you change key spheres of a certain type other than physical to rainbow. All right? I mean, that's pretty good, right? You know, you trade off, like, all of this stuff up here for rainbow, like, you create rainbow key spheres now, and that'll make sense as you start to read these next couple of bullet points. You'll kind of see what I was going for here. I was trying to kind of emulate that, the original Super Saiyan 2/3 Goku that we got, the Angel Int one. I was trying to kind of emulate that a little bit. So, if less than 3 key spheres, or I'm sorry. Sorry, I skipped a line. Attack and defense plus 133% and guards all attacks starting from the 4th turn with 3 or more key spheres obtained. So right here, basically, I was just saying, like, you do lose this, right? Starting from turn 4, this goes away, but you can get it all back if you get 3 key spheres. I felt like that was fair. You know, maybe this is, like, a little too low, but I basically just changed this to be a conditional buff, but you are creating rainbow key spheres now, so this shouldn't be too hard. Let me know if you guys think that's fair or not. Like, balance. You know, I know we're talking about balance on this guy, and I gave him, like, guaranteed crit to the entire team, but, you know, bear with me. Let's pretend like I made that correctly. Let's make that, like, 11% like it should be instead of 33. But let me know if you think, like, that's kind of like a fair trade-off. Anyway. I'm sure somebody's going to see this, and they're going to be like, well, why not just make this guaranteed? And it's like, well, because, you know, like, that's his whole thing. The clock's ticking down. It's like, he's not his full strength the entire fight. So now it's like, potentially you could lose this. But then if you read the next line, if less than 3 key spheres are collected, so if you get 1 or 2, you get a 33% chance to dodge per key sphere obtained. So this would obviously max out at 66%, because you could only ever get 1 or 2. As soon as you kick over to 3, you don't get any of this. So this is kind of like the fail-safe of, oh crap, I wasn't able to get my 3 key spheres and get this buff right here. So I gave you a nice little bailout of, well, if you did get less than 3, you're just kind of dodge or die now. Which I figure most people are going to build this. Well, actually, most of the community would build this guy with additionals. But I feel like a good chunk of the community would still give this guy some dodge. So, like, you know, like he would essentially just become dodge or die at that point, which I again, think is somewhat fair. Well, I mean, he wouldn't really be dodge or die because his defense stats are still going to be good, but they're going to be lower than usual because you're going to be missing out on this extra 133% starting from turn 4. So I felt like this was good. I thought that this was like interesting design. Like, you know, like, oh crap, because how many, you know, there's so many characters out there that it's like, oh, getting their orbs is free and easy. Like you think of like Bulma, right? Like she's a rainbow orb changer, getting her 5 orbs for support is like super easy. But I've encountered several times where we don't get the support. And so I wanted to kind of like build in just like a little bailout. It's like, okay, you didn't get your, you know, you didn't get your key spheres, but you do still have this dodge chance. So potentially you could survive. So let me know what you guys think about that. And then starting from the 4th key sphere collected, so you get up to 4, then you get a chance to dodge all attacks and critical hit chance plus 10% per key sphere obtained. So if you get 4 key spheres, you get 10%, 5 key spheres, you get 20, 6, you get 30, etc. And this would be start of turn right here. So, you know, you kick over to, you get exactly 3 key spheres and you get this buff right here. You get 2 or less and you get this, but starting from 4, you start building up additional crit chance and dodge chance right here, which again, I think is like pretty good, right? I mean, I thought that this was good. That does mean that if you get, what, 14 key spheres, because it would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you get 13 key spheres, he would have a guaranteed dodge chance, but I mean, I don't think 13 key spheres is all that common. That's over half the board. But you'll see where this is going in a second. Starting from the 6th key sphere obtained, damage received reduced by 10% per key sphere obtained. So again, you could, in theory, get up to 100% damage reduction, but the chances that happens are like slim to none. At least as long as you aren't using like orb changing items or something like that. So again, I thought this was like a interesting concept. Maybe he's too overpowered, but I don't really care. I mean, you know, our units should be good. And then obviously nullifies unarmed super attacks aimed at this character. That would be, if you guys remember, Majin Buu like punches Goku and he just kind of like turns and looks at him. That's what that animation would be, right? Is like where he kind of gets like punched and then he just like turns around and he smirks at him. That's what that would be. I think it's actually, is it the same animation that they used for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku? It might be. That actually might be the same animation that like they have against the Harudegarn one. Ah, who cares? You know, whatever. Right here, we have Goku's active skill. Because I am not creative, you can just use this whenever. So, stalling for time is what I named it. All attacks are aimed at this character for 1 turn. You get 59% damage reduction. You restore 59% HP at the end of turn. And you change all type key spheres to physical. So, obviously you combo that like on turn 4 with this guy's rainbow key chain. Like you create rainbow key spheres, right? With like 1 type of key sphere. And then you change all others to physical with the active skill right here. And then you just have a full board of physical and rainbow orbs. And you can just like get another full heal. You can get like all the crazy stuff active in his passive. So that's what I was going for here with the active skill. But let me know what you guys think about that. Maybe I should have made it a standby, but I just wanted to go with like a traditional basic active skill here. So let me know your thoughts. Maybe this is, again, too overpowered. And this is kind of where I was talking about, by the way, of like, you know, not realizing like that I gave him damage reduction here, but then I also gave him like build up damage reduction here. So, you know, but, I don't think it'll matter too much. Like you know, at the end of the day, like it's just kind of like he's invincible. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think about this concept here. So that's my Goku concept, and then I do have defense calcs down here. So if you remember, his defense was 13,725 on a 200% leader. You would multiply that by 5. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I believe, doesn't have any defensive links. I could be wrong, but you know, over in a flash, limit breaking form, Super Saiyan, fierce battle, Kamehameha. Just like Golden Warrior. I can't think of any others offhand, but none of those give defense. So I just didn't anticipate defense right there. And then with your full passive, you would have 333% at the start of turn. You get 133% on super attack. So you can see like his start of turn defense isn't that crazy, but remember he is guarding. He can get a lot of damage reductions, so not a huge deal there. 133% on super attack, and then this is what happens as you build up. So on your first turn, if you get 1 super attack, he's at 900k, 2 super attacks, you're at 1.1, 3 super attacks, you're at 1.3, and again, you are guarding, you'll have some level of damage reduction or dodge or something like that, right? So I figured like these stats weren't all that crazy. And then you do have the 4-turn stack, right? So, since you would keep up these original 3 stacks here potentially on your first turn, then this is what you would get up to with, what would this be? 4 supers, 5 supers, and 6 supers. So absolute max defense that you could get with no support would be almost 2 million, again with like guard and damage reduction. So maybe this is too strong, but I'm pretty happy with it. So let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you think it's like way too powerful. We could never see anything like this. But you got to remember that bosses are hitting for like 4 million now or something, like 3 million, 4 million. Like it's absurd how hard bosses are hitting now. So I don't think this is that out of the realm of possibilities. Like, it's definitely on the fringe of being insane, but I don't think it's like too far out of the realm of possibilities that we could see something like this. So anyway, let's go on to BUU. We got Majin Buu good next. His leader skill is a little bit tricky just because he's on a bunch of like really strange categories. Had to drink some water there. My throat was getting a little dry. So what I gave him was artificial life forms, obviously because we need a new artificial life forms leader. It seems like they've kind of been shadow buffing artificial life forms a little bit this year. Because of that, Beast Gohan mission. So I just gave him artificial life forms. Like, this guy is going to be the Beast Gohan killer. Although he is int. So, but it's not really going to matter. Worldwide Chaos, and then Time Traveler's Key +3, HP attack and defense 170%. His extra 30% would go to Majin Buu Saga, Transformation Boost, and Sworn Enemies. And again, I really just wanted to max out his HP and defense, and so I gave him another, like, really low attack stat. Let me know what you guys think about that, if you think that's a good idea or not, but I don't really care about this guy's attack, and I think it's gonna overall work out to be just fine, so, again, let me know your thoughts on this, if you think this is, you know, runnable. I don't know if this is a great leader skill, but you do at least get access to, like, Fusion Zamasu, Hirudegarn, Gotenks, pretty much all the Majin Buu characters. I think Android 21 is on this, so, you know, you get access to, like, more characters than you would think here, and you get the tech androids. Tech androids are on here, so you know, I think this actually is a pretty decent leader skill, all things considered. All right here we have the super attack. I just did the Majin Kamehameha, which is what he's doing, like, right here. Raises attack and greatly raises defense for 4 turns, so it's kind of like the reverse of Goku. And then instead of getting the 33% crit chance, he gets 15% HP regen, which again is probably a bit too much, but, you know, listen, like, Majin Buu's whole gimmick is that, like, he doesn't, like, take damage, like, ever. He just regenerates back from specs, right? So, as you're going to notice, Majin Buu has a lot of HP regen in his kit. So let me know what you guys think about the super attack effect. They tend to kind of do this, right, where they give them, like, similar skills, but they kind of, like, flip it around a little bit. So I flipped the attack and defense here with Majin Buu, and then I gave him the HP instead of the crit chance. So that's kind of like a mode, like that's definitely, like, a common pattern that Dokkan likes to do. You'll notice that, where they'll switch these super attack effects around. So that's kind of what I was going for there. Next up, we have the passive. You're going to notice it's a little bit shorter than Goku's, but it's still, I think, very good. Playful Evil is what I called it. Activates entrance animation upon entry, and for 6 turns from the start of turn, he gets guard. And you launch an additional attack, there's a great chance of becoming a super attack. I know I gave him the classic, like, additional attack, there's a great chance, but, you know, I don't think it's going to matter too much. I wanted to kind of pull him back. I wanted to pull the reins in just a little bit on him, since he does have so much healing and defense on his super attack effect. I wanted to rein him in just a little bit here. I gave him 250% at the start of turn, which is lower than Goku. But I also gave him restores 20% HP at the start of turn, because again, like, that's Buu's whole gimmick, is that he's healing a lot. So I gave him that. 150% attack and defense on super attack. So that's your nice multiplicative buff right there. Randomly changes a key sphere of a certain type to rainbow, so he's also a rainbow orb changer, which I just think is, like, really important for all of his teams. So I just threw that on there, and then he gets 20% damage reduction and HP plus 10% per rainbow key sphere obtained. So, you know, more healing, because we need more. We need more healing, all right? This, like, if Majin Buu is going to be just, like, the savior of villains, right, I wanted him to be just over the top crazy. You know, every team that we put Majin Buu good on, I need him just, like, just pulling the, like, if you either get one shot or Majin Buu grabs you from 1 HP and he yanks you back up to full health. That's the experience I wanted with Majin Buu, is you're just trading one-shots with the enemy, basically, right? It's like, oh, we didn't die? Well, guess what? Majin Buu's on the next rotation. He's just going to reel in our health back up to full HP. So that's what I was going for with him. And then, obviously, the damage reduction is good. So, I mean, you could get a max of 100% in theory. Probably most common, you're going to get about 60%, I feel like. So, again, that's like 50% HP regen with Majin Buu here, potentially. And then I gave him this All Allies Key plus 3 for 3 turns with 3 or more Rainbow Key Spheres obtained. So this would, in theory, stack, right? If you kept him on rotation, he would just have 6 key after 2 turns. And if you had 2 of these guys on rotation, it would be conditional, but you could just have the entire team getting just like a ton of key for free. But again, that's like kind of like Majin Buu's thing, you know, it's part of that like infinite energy, infinite regeneration, that stuff that they got going on. You know, is just that like key is overflowing with them, and energy and power and everything, and they're just like this magic little ball of power that can just do anything it will. Right, so I wanted to kind of lean into that and just give them a ton of key support, especially because, too, villains really suffer from not having standardized link sets. So I figured this was, like, good reparations, right, considering, like, you know, all Saiyans just link together and they're overflowing with ki and they're crazy. I gave Majin Buu this because it's like, and I didn't just limit it to extreme class allies. I gave them all allies because there's a chance that you're running the Majin Buus with the Saiyans on the Buu Saga team. You know, or something like that. So I wanted to make it all allies, and, you know, maybe it's a little bit too crazy, but honestly, you know, who wants to not super attack, right? Like, I need everybody with max key always. And so that's what Buu's here to do, is he's here to make sure that I'm always at full health and I'm always at full key. So that's what I wanted out of Majin Buu. It is conditional, but he's creating Rainbow Key Spheres, so it shouldn't be that hard. But there are turns where you'll miss this, and I think you will feel it. If this guy was real, of course. And then nullifies Ki Blast super attacks aimed at this character and restores 25% of damage taken. That would just be the animation, right, where he gets a hole blown through him, and then he just heals it back up. I mean, it's not really a nullification, but I wanted to get that animation in there somehow, so it just, like, blows through him, he heals it, and he goes, woo! You know, boo. Anyway. And then I just gave him the restores HP with candy because I feel like most Buus have that, so I just gave it to him. Like, this doesn't even matter. I just gave it on there for like the lore, you know. And so that's his passive. Let me know if you guys think this is too crazy or not. But you know, again, what I'm trying to get across is that I want Buu to be the villain savior, all right? Like, I want him to be by far the best unit in the game is what I want, so. Next up, we do have the active skill. So you can use this, again, you can just use this on turn 1 because I'm not creative. And I want to be able to use my active skills and see all these animations and stuff. So I just called it Regeneration. It can be activated up to 3 times in battle. It fully restores your HP, eliminates negative status effects, because I know if somebody was going to see this and be like, why does it need to restore HP? Majin Buu's like already giving you 1,000,000 HP. It's like, well, it also eliminates negative status effects. So, you know, you're at full HP, your lock, your seal, your stun, all of that is gone, and you get a scouter for 1 turn. I felt like that was pretty good. Yeah, so, and again, you can use this 3 times, so it gives you some, like, tactical ability to, as to when you use this. So, let me know what you guys think about that. Of course, if you're running just, like, the double Majin Buu team, you could just pop, and have it up for, like, the first, what would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess you could have it up for the first 6 turns. Which would be the same thing as, like, with his guard or whatever, if you had 2 of these guys on rotation, because you would go turn 1, 3, and 5, and then you would go turns 2, 4, and 6 with the other one, if they were on rotation, so. you know, your first 6 turns, you could essentially have a scouter. You could heal back up to full HP. You know, your lock and seal, all that is gone. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to do with BUU right there. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I think BUU is better. But, you know, I think there are merits to what Goku is doing. Even though I definitely fumbled with the with this. This should definitely be 11%. I was thinking 33% total for 3 turns. Not that one's a little bit off. So I apologize, but only the video viewers are going to understand that. All right, and then finally we do have his defense calcs. I just kind of did it in, like, best case scenario. He's got the triple super for the first 2 turns. Obviously, you can see his defense gets up to, like, an insane number here, but, you know, that's what we need. We need a Majin Buu that is insane, so let me know what you guys think about my concepts here for Majin Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Obviously, I went a little bit over the top, but why set your sights low? I mean, why set yourself, like, a really low bar? Personally, I think this is pretty good. So, I mean, obviously I made it, but I think if this dropped, the community would just, like, implode or something. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know in this concept what you would change, what you like, what you don't like, what you think is too powerful, what you think isn't powerful enough. Let me know your thoughts on these concepts. Let me know if you like this video. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time.